Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live edition of Sakali's Corner Unfiltered Mafia Roundtable. Glad to see everybody on. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody. The Truth. We have German always in the house, Richie, the Bronx, Francisco, Smith, Kev Smith, TKNY 3772. Who else? Philly Bob, Chris Todd, Cynthia, hello, my dear. Hope all is well. And I'm just going to answer one question from the Truth right now, and then we'll go into story time, and then back to the question. I got to get my hat straight. Hey, pal, see, sent me a hat. Look, okay, we'll get it straight. It's like my head's tilted, but anyway, the Truth. Dumb. A made guy is attending a Mafia event, has too many drinks, and ends up doing a shamar, dance in front of everyone. Is he going to get whacked for this? Good question. No, he's not going to get whacked. It depends who's there. His how much of a fool he makes out of himself. And like I said, it all depends who's there. He'll get reprimanded maybe. Because they're really, and I'll go into that when I talk about the perfect crime family in the story. So, and folks, so I had to answer the Truth, that question, because that was from this morning. So, and then I'll go over the questions as I usually do. But people, tomorrow we'll be doing the live. I already have it, the caption and everything. It'll be about Joey Melnish. We'll talk about one of the Purple Gang leaders, one of the most notorious guys in the street, Joey Melnish. And I'll talk about him tomorrow. He's from also Harlem, the Bronx, but they were ruthless back in the day. People, before we start, please go to egvodka.com, order it today. 100% organic, gluten-free, 3 flavors, great holiday gift, great for a drink. German, I'll wait for your plug-in too. But order it, like I said, it's really, really smooth. You'll like it, you'll enjoy it. And go to Always Lit Cigars or the 3 Capos, Bad Santa. Really a good cigar, good smoke. If you like smoking a cigar, excellent. And don't forget to go to my boy's podcast, Goodfellow Podcast with Joe Barone. Really has good content. Joe tells some good stories, and he is a funny bastard. So, and by the way, Joe, yesterday was Joe's birthday. Happy belated birthday, my brother. I know I said it to you yesterday, but I forgot to mention it on air. So today, happy belated birthday on air. So people, we're going to talk about the perfect crime family. First off, my book just came back from editing, and this is the cover, what the cover is going to look like. This is what the cover will look like. They had one misspelling on the back in memory. They have to make it crime. But that's what the cover will look like. So we already got that approved. I already put that in. And we're going to talk about the perfect crime family. I'll talk a little bit about the book as well. But we're going to talk in reality, what you people would want to know about the perfect crime family. With the rules, do's, don'ts. To me, the most important thing, and the book hits a lot of topics with this as well. So, perfect crime family today. Let me ask everybody a question out there. What family do you think is the perfect crime family? And I know everybody's going to say it has to be 95% is going to say the Genovese crime family. And you know what, guys? I have to agree with you. However, there are some things they're doing I don't agree with, but that's them. They're out there. And I'm just telling you from a perspective of a former mobster, the way I see things. But at one time, believe it or not, the Bonanos were the perfect crime family. And the reason why I say that, yes, you had Joe Messino brought that crime family back to prominence. when in before 2002 we never had a made member, never a Mafia made member ratted. All the other families had it. And at that time in the 90s, 2000s, Joe had guys stop not going to funerals, very few going to weddings, wakes. He had it done the right way. He was structuring it properly. And with that said, he instilled a lot of different things in the crime family, not to mention his name, pull on the ear. And at that time, with the Genovese, even though they were very powerful as well, you had a boss, a legendary boss, Chin, um, walking around the streets in a bathrobe, playing Looney Tune. And the way our perception in the Mafia, yeah, it was his tactic to evade law enforcement. But at the end of the day, he still got arrested. They hit him when they knew he was faking it, which they always did. He wound up taking a plea because of the fact, they threatened to arrest his family members. So obviously, I told you he was pretty coherent. And with that, to have a boss in a bathrobe, walking around like a Looney Tune, um, we're supposed to, in the Mafia, you're supposed to be better than everybody. You're supposed to hold yourself on a higher standard. So a lot of people in the Mafia didn't like that. They frowned upon it. But nonetheless, he was a great boss. I'm not knocking him in any way, shape, or form, other than just, I guess, doing that act, playing Looney Tune. But the Bonanno crime family was up there. They're powerful, had a lot of respect. And Joe was after the Chin went away. Joe Messina was the last Don out there. And it's sad. He took us out of the basement, put us up at the top, and then put us down in the basement. I mean, his whole administration told. It was just one after the other after the other. It was like a domino effect. And that was the downfall. And then he did the ultimate betrayal. And by him wearing a wire, he actually destroyed the Mafia. For a boss, last Don, wasn't like he was a boss that just came up like a Michael Wash woman. Just came out of nowhere, inherited at a default, went from a soldier to an acting captain to boss. Joe Messina was up there. He was a legend. And for him to wear a wire, that just really took the wind out of the sails of the Mafia, in my opinion. It made everybody think, wow, look at this. Not only did he cooperate, he wore a wire. So it was just crazy. But what I look for a perfect crime family and to educate you people, first and foremost is loyalty in a person. You need loyalty in the life. You need respect. There's protocol in the life. If I'm walking into a restaurant, say, Vinny Basciano is the boss, Bruno is the captain. And as I'm walking in the restaurant, there's other guys there, associates, friends, say 15, 20 guys. Vinny's in the far back of the restaurant, and I know Vinny's there. I see Vinny. As I'm walking in, if I see Bruno, if I see Anthony Rubito, Nicky Santoro, these are guys with captains, concierge of the family, and I see them first, I might say hello verbally, but I will not shake their hand or give them a kiss. I go and walk to Vinny. Now, if they know the life correctly, and there's a lot of made guys who don't know the life, they're just idiots. They'll put out their hand and go to kiss you, knowing the boss is in the back. And you know what? Anthony Ace Aiello was perfect. And I saw him on many occasions. I basically groomed him in the Mafia. He was around me all the time. And he knew, first and foremost. And I saw him doing it because there was times I was in the back of a place sitting down, but I had my eye, I could see the whole joint. People walk in, and they go to say hello to him. They extend their hand, and he's like, no. And he points to the back, go see Dominic. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to know that life, and it's protocol. It's all about respect. And, that's where the life was nice. So it's respect, protocol. Never backing down. When you have a situation arises, whether you're outnumbered, outgunned, you don't back down. You hold your ground. If you think you're going to get clipped or something's going to happen, maybe try to diffuse it, but don't back down, hold your ground. And it happened with me too. One of the incidents everybody knows with Quiet Dom's son, Nicholas Cirillo. After I smacked him, he went running towards the car, telling his friend in the car, get a gun, get a gun, get the gun, give me the gun, give me the gun. And he's yelling as he's running to the car. I didn't run the other way. I didn't run in the opposite direction. I ran after him. So that was my caliber. That was the way I was. That was my mentality. And I got to him when he got into the car, and the rest was history. I was on top of him. But I didn't run the other way. Like I said, you're not going to scare me. If I could get a gun, if I could grab you, if I'm close, you're pulling it, at least I have a fighting chance. If I'm at a distance, I don't have a fighting chance. It'll be difficult for me to overcome that. So always hold your ground. Also, which 90% of Mafia guys don't do, I'll admit when I'm wrong. When you admit when you're wrong, and Vinny instilled this in me, it doesn't show it. If you're a tough guy, you're known as a gangster, you're known as a thug out there, you have a strong reputation in the streets, and you admit you're wrong, that shows a sign of being a man, confidence with yourself. Now, somebody like a Michael Washwoman Mancuso, admitting he's wrong, he has no respect like that. He rode the coattails of Joey Melnish, Michael Melnish, and I'll talk about that tomorrow on tomorrow's show. So at the end of the day, he wouldn't get that respect, and he wouldn't admit he was wrong. So that shows a really good man, somebody's strong confidence. Then also, one of the main rules, there are no interviews. If media's out there, you're not even supposed to acknowledge it. No comment. Keep on walking. Don't even say that. And no talking to law enforcement of any kind whatsoever. And I know we went back and forth the last few days with Gotti Jr., with his innocent proffer, his alleged innocent proffer, which it wasn't, 302s that are out there. It was Queen for the day. He went in to cooperate. Because like I told everybody, once again, if it was an innocent proffer, he would have been talking about his case, whatever charges he was facing, and explain to the government, wasn't me, here's where I was at, blah, blah, blah. You show proof that's an innocent proffer. But there's no talking. And folks, I'm telling you now, 90% of the people on this are probably civilians, regular people. They want to learn about the mafia, hear mafia stories. So I'm telling you the way it is in that life when I was a MAID member. So once you sit down with law enforcement, you're ratting. Whether nobody got arrested, you didn't give valid info, you're ratting. You're not supposed to sit down with them for any reason. And I'll tell you one thing. There was a guy, Oscar Ansorian, Armenian. He was around Lil Vic and Gas Pipe. It was the three of them. Oscar had a lot of pull. If he was Italian, he would have been the boss over there with Vic. Vic would have definitely made him the boss. That's the pull. That's how Matty Madonna got his position over there, through Oscar. Okay? That's how Matty Madonna got his position, through Oscar. And Oscar told me a story when he was fighting one of his cases. He had stuff on the guy that could have gotten one of the witnesses, locked up, because they never told. He told the lawyer, don't bring it up. That's ratting. That's a gangster, folks. That's a gangster, even though he's defending himself. He felt it was telling, and he would not do it. Oscar did a lot of time in jail, Great, great guy. He died in, I think it was Allenwood, FCI. As he was walking, I don't know, to the kitchen, they had an open compound. He had a massive heart attack. Really, really good guy. I loved Oscar. When I met him in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, in the penitentiary. Really good guy. But that's what I consider the perfect crime family. Now, in the book, we have the era of the book. I formulated that era. Basically, it's in the 70s. However, I created a depression. So basically, like in the 20s, I put that type of spin on it. We're at war. Uh, the parents in the neighborhood, they get called to active duty. Um, and they go to war. And these kids, all of them were good kids going to school and everything. But now they have to step up. There's hard times. The women, the mothers can't put food on the table. And by accident, they stepped into a way to make money. And as they're going, they find out that the loyalty is what keeps the strength. And they see the current mafia, the current day mafia. There is no loyalty. There's a lot of deception, a lot of treachery. And there was a family that was decommissioned. They were decommissioned. And this young Turk, Vinny Serrano, he takes the bull by the horns, and he doesn't back down. He does what he has to do, quiet, without people knowing, not flashy. And he's always looking ways to make money in the Bronx. And he's moving on to Harlem, all over the place. And lo and behold, his father always taught him. And his father told him, I don't want to go too much into the book, but the father always taught him. The father could have been a powerhouse himself, but the father said, main rule, if you're going to be in a relationship, you want a family with a wife, kids, streets are not for you because the streets come first. And if you're going to be in any type of relationship, whether you're a mafioso with the streets or a legitimate man or just a family man, you have to pick or choose because it wouldn't be fair to your regular family. So Vinny's father chose to be a legitimate man, even though he could have been a powerhouse himself in the mafia. He chose, I want my wife, I want to have a kid, and that's what I'm going to direct all my attention to. I don't want it. And he became a sanitation guy, working for the sanitation company. So the book is really interesting, folks. In the hardback cover, when I came home, I was going to do graphic novels. I had a storyboard writer, did graphic novels for Paramount, Sony Pictures. I mean, his name was Joe Shrugs. I don't know if he's there, if he's still around. It got to the point he was ahead of me with payments. I overpaid him. Not overpaid him, but I was waiting for product to come. And it was about 85% complete. So with that, it got scrapped. So it wasn't done. But Joe was excellent. I mean, with the guys going to the Yankee game, he looked it up. On that day, they played Boston. They won an extra innings. I mean, he switched the days around. That was aligned perfectly for the book. And the graphics he did was phenomenal. So in the hardback cover, I'm inserting all the graphics. It's going to be a limited special edition. It'll be inserted in there. And I'll be doing probably some tours where I'll sign the books personally. So it's really, and I kept it. I could have changed a lot of the wording, but I didn't, to make it more refined, make it more, I guess, professionally written. Is the only words I know off the top of my head, but I didn't. I kept it in my grammar, the way I speak. And that's it. I wanted it authentic. I wanted the readers to feel it. And it's funny because my daughter said, Dad, I'll do the editing for you. So I sent it to her. She didn't do the editing. But as she's reading, she goes, I like it. I like it. I'm like, really? She says, yeah. She's like, wow, it kept me interested. So, and she's not a reader. So I was impressed. But like I said, I did it myself. And I just hope you people like it out there when it comes out. I'll let everybody know ahead of time. For those of you who already ordered it, um, you could go back, get a refund, send me the names. I'll see the refunds, and I'm going to send you guys a free copy. It's on me for waiting so long because the book should have been out already, but it's not. So now I'll answer some questions, and you tell me what you think. If you have any questions about a crime family and what you guys think is a perfect crime family. So we'll go through this. We have the Bronx in the house. Francisco, hello. Now we have the Bronx. The truth, as you can see, the new Mafia today specializes in dancing and more often singing. Listen, they're out there to have a good time, so I can't knock it. But when I was around, you don't get up and dance. Now, don't get me wrong. If I was out at a nightclub somewhere else, out of the realm of other eyes, yeah, I'm gonna get up and dance and have a good time. Anybody want to hear a joke? Kev Smith, go ahead, shoot the joke. We'll hear it. I'll announce it. Let me see. This thing just skipped on me. We have Margography Channel, a Pleasant Avenue podcast. Dom, salute from Pleasant Avenue, East Harlem, New York, NYC. Listen, I loved Harlem. I had a lot of laughs down there, especially the Lightfuls, the restaurant down there. We could pull up 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It was loaded with people. There was always somebody there. Leave your car doors open. Nobody's going to mess with you if they know you. It was really a good time back then, back in the days in the 80s. We have the Bronx, Francisco, the Bronx in the house. Perfect time for my workout every day. This works. I'm glad, Rich. So if you're listening, Rich, get that workout in. Keep on pumping. Today, I didn't go to the gym. I was all ready to go, and I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. I had one too many last night, but I had a good time. We have TKNY, Dominuch. The Bronx is no good no more. The street guys like to see you do good. The street guys like to see you do good, but when you do better than them, it's a problem. My brother, it's always been that way. Always been that way. You have a lot of jealous and envious out there, and it shouldn't be like that, without a doubt. I have one that I missed, and I know because I wrote Craig. Dom, I think I worked with you in Local 7. Craig, probably so. I was in Galloway Township. I had that school for 6 months. AC, all the hotels, Valley's Health Spa Hospital. So I'm sure we did work together in Local 7. So it was work. It was work, but I enjoyed it. Kevin Smith, anybody want it? Okay, I have to go down. Philly Bob, Dom, do you think Vinny knows about the hit put on you from the nose, aka Washwoman? I'm sure he heard about it now. Absolutely. He's probably shaking his head. Knowing Michael's a jerk off. Michael's Michael, and that's it. Michael, I know, is probably fuming. I know everybody goes up to him. They tell him he's watching the channel. He's probably fuming, but like I said, he won't do anything. So not now for that matter. So I blew it up. Sam the Man, Big Dom, what's up? What's up, Sam? Good to see you on. The RC. Hey, Dom, what's up, RC? Rich, how's it going? Big Dong, dang, Dow, whatever. It's going well. Can't complain. Got the E.G. Vodka shirt on. Have my Adidas hat my boy sent me. Got sick and tired of those rundown hats I wear. Francisco. Hey, Brandy, glad to see you did. Oh, an A-Light video yesterday. Okay. Sis. Blow the sheep off. Don't answer or mention them. Yeah, I do, though. I do. I give them the little haters, too. But I did today. I deleted some comments. Like, it's just they just really they get frustrated. That's what burns you out, folks. That's what was burning me out. All the negativity, 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 and people construed in your words. If I say something, I admit it. If I don't, then when they turn things around, it's crazy. Have you tried Joey cigars? How would you compare it to Three Capos? No, I haven't tried his cigar, but I'll ask the guys who have always lit cigars. I'll ask them because they're big in cigars. So I'll definitely ask them. Dom G, gear me EG Vodka shirt and advertise you. Philly Bob, hit me up. Folks, I'm going to type in my email and I'll send you an EG Vodka shirt. DOMMINI. Philly Bob, email me. Want an EG Vodka shirt? I'll mail one out to you. My Christmas gift to you. The Bronx, the Adams family. Let me see. Mikey Beef. What's up, Big Dom? The life ain't so good. Too much greed. There was always greed, I would say, in it, but it became selfishness. People don't try to help each other anymore. And that's it. Folks, another thing I wanted to talk about. I forgot to put in my notes. So I got sidetracked today. Who would I put in place for the perfect crime family nowadays? I'll go with some soldiers who I think excellent. Off the top of my head, soldiers. Anthony Ace Aiello. Great guy. If I have to put together the perfect crime family. Anthony Ace Aiello. Mickey Boy Paradiso. Because I'm trying to differentiate soldiers from captains. Let me skip to captains, and then I'll go back to some more soldiers. My captains would be, I would go with Anthony Donato, who was never a captain, but he has great demeanor. I would also choose Anthony Bruno Indelicato. I would pick Patty Falsetti as a captain. Jerry Asaro. Joe Camarano. Trying to think. Tommy Schatz with the Columbos. I'd pick him as a captain. Back to soldier. Baldo Amato. Definite captain. Soldier. Very loyal. Ronnie One Arm. I would keep him as a soldier. Alphonse Siska, keep him as a soldier. His nephew, Bo, I'd keep him as a soldier. Robert D'Onofrio, the Columbos, keep him as a soldier. Big Anthony Russo with the Columbos, I'll put him as a captain. Mikey Scars, I'll keep him as a captain. Michael Franchese, I would keep him as the consigliere of the family. I would have two consiglières. I would use Michael Franchese and Anthony Buat, who's with the Lucchese's. I would definitely have two people in place. For the underboss, hands down, Vinny Basciano. I would say him for boss, even though he had a big mouth, which jammed me up. But my boss goes to my mentor, who groomed me into life. Great, great guy, and he would be the boss. I would put who else in positions? Louis Dedone, captain, is with the Lucchese's. Ciro, captain, passed away. Tough Tony, captain, passed away. His second in command, Ram, would be a soldier, another good guy, stand up. And that would be some of my guys who I would have as part of the Perfect Crime family. Definitely. So I'll go back to answering questions. Dom, do you wish you would have went into the Genovese crime family? They might have been more loyal. Good question, T. You know what? I'm glad. I was happy where I went. It wasn't about. Yeah, it was with loyalty. I would say you're right. It's just at the end of the day. Yeah, hindsight, yes, yes. I wish I would have stayed with it. I wish I'd never even. I would have stayed out of the mafia. I had a good reputation on the street. Nobody was ever going to back me down. I had the boss of the Genovese crime family backing me. Nobody could ever do anything to me. As long as I conducted myself properly, which I always did. I know the rules. I know the do's and don'ts. I'm not going to cross that line. And I should have never went into the life. But when you're in the streets, folks, you look to always elevate. You look always to advance. And that's what I did. So what happened to Danny Leo? I never met. I heard a lot of good things about Danny Leo, but yes, I heard he's great, solid guy. He would be another one. There's a ton of guys I left out, and this was off the top of my head. I meant to write it down before the show, but I just got sidebarred. So, what can you do? Someone told me that he's dead, but there's no proof he was an acting boss when the Chin died, a former member of the Purple Gang, which Michael Mancuso, Bonanno administrator. Okay. Also another one, Angelo Prisco. I would keep him as a soldier, not a captain. So my captains are guys who earn, who control. Perry's another guy. I would keep him as a soldier. Great, great guy. Good personality. Louis DeChico, another one. Be a soldier. There's a lot of guys out there. There are factors contributing to the Bonanno success. Oh, there was a lot of factors. Oh, we had a message from Chatting with Stack Show, and he retracted it. So let's see if he posts up. Stacks, glad to see you coming on. So, John, welcome from Melbourne, Australia. We have Australia in the house. Love your content and your show. You're going to like it even more when it's fully Sakali's Corner Unfiltered. Definitely going to be fun. A lot of fun, a lot of controversy going back and forth. Johnny Joe's another guy. I would keep him as a captain. Definitely a powerhouse. Messino turning states evidence was unreal. He was supposed to go to the chair. Listen, people, they hit everybody with the death penalty, but they're not going to give any mafioso the death penalty for killing another mafioso. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Now, if innocent women and children got killed, that something went down, yes, then there's a chance. But Messino just didn't want to do the time. That's all it comes down to. He used every excuse. And somebody called me. They communicated with me. I'm not going to say who. I gave them my word. But they told me that Joe passed comments. Well, I cooperated because Vinny wasn't doing the right thing, sending up the money. That's a bold-faced lie. That was a lie. I know for a fact. I myself added my funds to give to his family and Vinny's family. So that's a bold-faced lie. Never happened. And that was Joe used every excuse. Well, they were going to take away all my stuff, my wife. Joe's worth about 30, $40 million. They will only fine him 12 million or 14 million, 15 million tops. And at the end of the day, he gave up like $9 million total. So, it's just he used everything under the sun as an excuse. So let's see. Congratulations, Dom, on your growth. Big homie. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Bananos had grasses before Masano. I have no idea what you mean. Let me skip on. We have the Puppet Master. That's what I'm saying about Mancuso. Someone from most likely the West Side got him raised from soldier to acting boss. No, it wasn't somebody from it was Vinny Basciano. Vinny Basciano, when Tony Urso got arrested, actually, Michael was the acting captain for Patty DiFilippo. Vinny bumped Michael up to acting underboss. And then when Vinny got locked up, Michael went to that slot. And Vinny's instructions to Michael and myself. Michael, something happens to me. Vinny was always proactive. Something happens to me, you take control, unless Joe Messino says differently. And Dom, you back him. Whatever he needs. And he told Michael, you have any problems with anybody, you tell Dominic will handle it. So basically, that's another thing that slapped Michael in the face. Vinny's calling him a punk right to his face, telling him Dominic will handle it if you have any problems. So, Steven, hey, Dom, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you from Ireland. We got Ireland in the house. We have Francisco. Don't bother subscribing to his social media and YouTube. I don't know who he's talking about. Hopefully it's not me. He likes to put X wise guys down, calling them rats. Well, you know what, Francisco, that's all right. People could call people rats. I'm okay with it. It's just a lot of people are sore with it. Hollywood had promoted the Mafia, that the Mafia is bigger than life. So you understand that. I'm okay with that. And if somebody makes sense, I'll give them their props, even if they talk shit about me. I'll give it to them. That's what's different with me. So that's all right. But thanks anyway. Mikey Beef, show respect to the boss first, always. Then you respect to the crew. Of course, it's always chain of command. You might not respect the badge, or no, you're going to respect the badge. You might not respect the person. So, yeah, Ace should be boss. I heard he's acting constantly. If that's listen, I love Ace dearly, but that capacity, he's not made for that. Ace is a great soldier. Number one, hands down. Yeah, Ruggiero said Molino said rats need to get registered. Well, he could say what he wants. It's ridiculous. And put it this way, I know for a fact whether he recognized the people he was around or not. I think he did, from what I was told. I wasn't there, so I can't confirm it 1,000%. But he was nervous. He was nervous when he was around the group that cooperated, guys from New York. And he got nervous when he found out he was in the Lions den. But nothing happened. There was no altercation. So, do you know Derek Dunning Campos from the Bronx? I know Andrew Campos. Went to prison for beating up a firefighter. No, I don't know him. I don't have either. TikTok. Hey, Dom. It's the Yankees. Dave Yankee. Hey, Dom. I hit you up on Instagram a few times, asked for advice. Thank you for hitting me back. And I'm sorry, U.S. Marine Corps. David, thank you for your service for the country, for fighting for us, giving us our freedom. And I apologize if I didn't get back to anybody on Instagram. I'm just busy, but periodically I'll look and I will get back to everybody. Anthony, what was your first? Okay. Anthony says, what was your first homosexual experience in jail? Did you like it? Anthony, you know what? That's out of line, way out of line. I don't play that shit. So, you know what? Bye bye, Anthony. You're going. See ya. I use Facebook and Instagram only. We're gonna start. Here we go. Here's my nightly advertisement. German, much love from the land down under. Here's what German writes, and thank you for your contribution, German. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth and some EG vodka. So come on, people, order some delicious EG vodka. It's 100% organic and comes in 3 delicious flavors. So order up, German. I wish we could get you some down there. So please, I put my email in there. Hit me up, German, on the email. Thank you. I believe this is from Spirit of New Orleans. Sorry. I believe that this is a podcast is very neat, and I believe I am not the only person to believe this. I believe that this podcast is very neat. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit of New Orleans. Listen, you can't always satisfy everybody. There's sometimes I'm going to be extremely controversial. I'll be explosive on here because it hits deep. It's my passion. And there's other times we could have intellectual conversations. We'll go into a lot of other topics once we expand the channel. So thank you. Philly Bob, Dom, you did what you had to do. You may have ratted, but you're a free man. Thank God. And I agree. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm going to take one more question, folks, and then we're wrapping it up. I'll go with the Puppet Master. Let's see. It's funny how a lot of these guys call people rats when they have no clue how the mob works. And when you're facing a life sentence or something you don't do, you're getting robbed on the streets. Puppet Master, but you know what? If I'm getting robbed on the streets, somebody rats on me, they're doing me dirty out there, I'm not supposed to tell, though. So they're right. They're okay for saying it. But I chose the life. Nobody twisted my arm. Nobody twisted my arm. I was a big boy. I made my own decisions. Like I'm stating here right now. I made my own decisions. Yes, I ratted. I did what I had to do. And I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with people saying it. But when they start getting stupid, saying stupid things, that's what gets agitating. But, you know, it is what it is. I take it on the chin and move on. One more. Sam the Man, you Italians, you have to admit, when your blood gets boiling, look out. LOL. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Cynthia, we're glad you're here. We love you. Love you too. With that, we're going to end the show. People, thank you. Love everybody. I'm enjoying coming on, interacting with everybody. Please tune in tomorrow live at 5. We're going to talk about Joey Melnish, the Purple Gang, killings, how he acted out there. And the first time I saw Joey Melnish on the street, I was a kid. I was a baby. I might have been 11, 12, 13 years old, around that age. And I was fearful of him. To me, as a kid that young, he was larger than life. So and I didn't even know his reputation back then. Didn't know his reputation. So people tune in tomorrow, live at 5. We're talking about Joey Melnish, Purple Gang, murderer, and he might be coming home. So we'll see. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Peace out. Much love and respect. Thank you again.